Good morning. Good morning. This is day 162. And as you can probably tell, I'm doing this one early in the day. And um, it's going to be a little bit more self reflective than normal. But even though this is about my journey, one of the reasons why I overeat whenever I have ever discussed this subject is usually because of stress or I'm celebrating. So like I eat, the eating is how I cope with everything, whether it's joy, stress, hardship, party, whatever. So I'm always finding ways to kind of reset my mind, stay focused on the positive so that I can, stay on point with my goals. And the reason why I'm making this video, well, for one, it's part of the journey, but for two, I may or may not share this one. I don't know, because it's getting ready to get personal. I have been married for 17 years, and if most of you guys follow my content, you know I am like really in love with my husband, and he's a great guy, and I feel very blessed. With that said, sometimes you realize you get stuff in your head that is not necessarily based on reality, but you start making stuff up in your head that you wish for this or you wish for that, not really realizing that God gave you exactly what you needed. So this morning I got up early because I'm listening to this book, the 5 a.m. Club. Plus, I know that as a business person and as an entrepreneur, it's good for me to get up early, get my day going. It helps me to get focused. It helps me to work on things. It helps me to have my me time or whatever, right? So I got up this morning, working on my goals, and, I'm listening to my audio tapes, listening to my positive motivational stuff, and, dreaming about the big vision and where we're going as a company. And, the house is quiet and I could really just get everything in there. So I'm sitting in my closet, just working all this stuff out, listening to my positive, audiobook that I'm listening to right now and visualizing and all that kind of stuff, right? And then I go to the kitchen. My husband made me coffee, and he gets ready to leave. He gives me a kiss, gets ready to leave, walks out the door, gets in his car, and comes back in and goes, "Come here, honey. It's a beautiful sunrise this morning. You got to see it. It's beautiful." And in that moment, everything that I've been angry about this week came to a full halt. I'll express myself in a second, explain what that means. I went out this morning, and I'm going to let you guys see what I'm looking. I don't know if you can see it because the sun has already risen, but it's just gorgeous out. And I'm sitting here in my yard. We have a fire pit, so I walked behind the garage to this fire pit area that we made. And I'm looking out over the horizon. And when he asked me to come out here, there was all these beautiful pink and purple and orange colors on the skyline. What I did was I went back inside. Right as he was leaving, I went back inside. He showed me the sunrise. I went back inside, grabbed my cup of coffee, and came out here and sat by my fire pit to watch the rest of the sunrise. Now, why am I explaining that? Last week, I got extremely upset because being the go-getter that I am, and my husband's more of the laid-back person, I feel like I'm always oh my God, we're going to do this, and let's go do that, and, let's get ready, and let's take the girls here, and let's, like I'm the motivator, right? And so we had an event on Sunday that I wanted to go to for my daughter. And I felt like I was the one, like, okay, we got to get going and stuff. And my husband was like super chill. It's Sunday, and I'm sitting at my office working on some things on a Sunday, mind you. And, my other daughter, was at her event, which we were going to go to, which we did go to. And then my other daughter was, I got two daughters. My other daughter was in her room just chilling Sunday, right? So I finished work and working on some invoices and stuff and paperwork and social media and stuff. And I go into my room. My husband's just sitting on the chair, relaxing. And I'm like, we gotta go. We got things to do. We gotta go do. And not only that, if she rides early, we're gonna miss her. Well, sure enough, we get to Gainesville. We miss my daughter, and I went ballistic, absolutely ballistic. And so, in my mind, I made up this story. It wasn't really a story because it is true. I'm like, I'm always the one that, thinks of this, and I'm always the one to think of that, and, why can't you think of this stuff, and why can't it? And then I realized, I'm always the one that thinks of this stuff, because he's generally the one that helps me make it come true. I'm always the one that thinks of, we're going to do this, that, and the third, and we're going to buy a new truck, and we're going to get some new equipment. Oh, I'm going to try not to call. He's usually the one that figures out how all of this stuff works. And I have been upset for a week because in my mind, not like upset, like, I'm going anywhere, but just like this underlying fury. And so I actually talked to some friends of mine that have been married for a long time and that are happily married. Because you got to be careful who you talk to. And I never talk to people about my marriage. For one, I don't really have any major issues. And for two, I just keep my stuff in there. But if you need advice, you need advice. So I talked to a friend of mine that has been married for almost 40 years. And another friend of mine that's been married 30 years. And they're like, Donnie, that's how your husband's wired. You guys are two totally different people. He's not going to be the motivator, but he's going to work hard to make sure this stuff gets done. And then when he's ready to relax, he's going to relax. But you know what else? He's going to take care of you and make sure you're relaxed. So today, while I'm sitting up thinking about all these visions and, working on the visions that God has put in my mind and all the things goals I want to accomplish, you know what he did? He noticed the sunrise and got me out of the house to enjoy all of this. Just sitting out here for the last, 15 minutes has done more for me mentally than the last 2 hours that I've been up working on my goals. Now, granted, I'm still going to work on my goals. I'm still going to visualize. I'm still going to listen to my powerful audiobooks from all the great leaders around the world. I'm still going to listen to my motivational speakers. I'm still going to write down my goals. I'm still going to meditate and all that kind of stuff. But taking a moment to come outside, sit by my fire pit and watch the sunrise, that's what I needed. And that's what my husband gave me. So for those of you that are married, be thankful for the gifts that your spouse has that you may not have. My husband has the ability to sit and watch a sunrise. I have to be invited to watch the sunrise so that I can take notice of God's greatness and all the beauty. Sometimes I've got to be tapped on the shoulder to watch a little critter. Granted, I do have balance in my life and I do take time off and I do relax, but sometimes I need to take time to breathe and to think and to commune with nature. Oh, that was a leaf that just fell on me. And my husband helps me do that. He may not plan all the parties and like to go to all these big events and want to be on social media and want to go conquer the world, but you know what? He keeps me sane. He gives me what I need. And he's helped to build a beautiful life for me and my girls. So yeah. Yeah. So if you're married and you have an amazing husband or wife, tell them you appreciate them, but also be mindful of the fact that you guys are just wired different. So me and my husband were wired different, but we make a great team. And I think, like my friend said, if there's some things that I really do want, as far as planning the events or him being more motivated to go or do XYZ, I just got to tell him, as opposed to sitting around being mad. Ladies, you know how we do. So anyway, y'all be blessed. Love each other. Day 162. I know I didn't talk about weight, but having a healthy relationship will help your weight, I assure you. All right, be blessed.